There he is. Hey, Caraway, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Busy day, busy weekend. I got a lot going on, man. But it's all good.
Oh, this is weird. You're not
Well,
wearing a hat.
no hat today, man. Sometimes, I just let the baldy rock. You
He's
know what
got
I'm saying?
to
It's nothing.
pop out and show him.
It's just got to pop out and show him. Sometimes show him I ain't got no hair.
You don't ever go no hat, Kyle?
No, God no.
I mean, like, obviously, as you talk about it, probably 90% of the time I have a hat on, but sometimes with some outfits at some occasions, you can't rock that. Although I'm about to start getting into the fedora bag. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that for you.
I'm about to start getting into that bag, but that's something I got to work on.
Are you talking fedora like the ham wears or like the wider brim ones?
Maybe both.
Okay,
maybe both. I'm not opposed to either one of them, but I'm traditionally speaking more of the wider brim joint.
Yeah, so that's my wine tasting go to. I have a brown one and a white one.
Okay.
That I'll rock sometimes. Yeah, if it's like a wedding, I'll go no hat for sure. I'm not one of those like, oh, I need to wear a fitted at my wedding. It's not. No. It's not like that. But if I've never come to work without a hat on.
Yeah,
that'd be wild to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you would know more than.
Did you just decide?
Right.
Did you just decide?
I was trying to think of nah, man, I saw you one time.
No, dude, you have not. I promise. I didn't. The Christmas party this year, I didn't wear a hat. But that doesn't count. That's not.
That doesn't count. No, I'm not going to qualify that as showtime or work time.
So what we were talking about when you came in here, one of the things that always happens after a team wins a title is you look at, hey, how did that team build their roster and how can you replicate that? And hey, this is going to be the new standard. I think the Celtics just kind of set a standard that you can't, that is not that achievable. Just because they had so many guys who were just perfect in the roles that they needed them for.
Yeah.
On top of having Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jesus. Jason Brown too.
At Last Chance U at Independence Community College.
Yeah.
Jason Brown. He was
Jalen Tatum as well. No, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But I go back to the Nuggets because Denver is a team that last year and everybody, it's super easy to go, well, okay, Jokic and Sabonis, that's a match, and Fox and Murray, okay, that's your match there. And then we talked a lot about Kyle Kuzma today. And could Kyle Kuzma and Keegan Murray just kind of in the aggregate give them what the Nuggets get out of Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr.? Because, and then can Keon Ellis be
KCP?
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope?
KCP or Bruce Brown?
Can Malik Monk be that Bruce Brown type of scoring punch? But I think Malik Monk's a better player than Bruce Brown for me. But that's where, because every time we bring up Kyle Kuzma, I'm kind of like, man, is that it? But then the more we started talking about it, it's kind of like, hey, I kind of see the vision here. And I see where this can work out. Yeah. And I don't think there's going to be a version of the Kings offseason that has me looking on paper going, wow, this is a title contender right now. But I didn't think that about Dallas going to the playoffs. I didn't think Minnesota was going to make the kind of run that they made. Yeah. And so can you be in the conversation? Can you get into the tournament? And Kyle Kuzma definitely gets him there. And that made me feel a little better.
Well, like to what you guys were discussing before, like Kyle Kuzma, if you look at Aaron Gordon and be like, he's a better player than Kyle Kuzma, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not even necessarily going to disagree with you. But I always use like the 2K analogy to it. It's not like Kuzma's a 77 and Aaron Gordon's a 94. Right?
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon's probably, if he's better, he's like an 88 and Kuzma's like a 85 or something.
Sure.
Like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like Kuzma can be that aspect of it. You look at the Bruce Browns, the Michael Porter Jr.'s, the KCPs, Keegan, Malik, they can all be around there. You guys said it perfectly. The hard part is finding the two guys that you think are all NBA caliber players. And the Kings have found that. And and then there's a question mark of whether we've seen the best of Keegan Murray. Maybe he's got a whole another level to get to, and what that does for your franchise as well. So I think to your guys' point, building or looking at Denver, I was about to say Dallas, even Dallas, what they were able to do to get to that point makes it more conceivable. Be like, yeah, we can. You can build to that point, and Kyle Kuzma, as an example, can be a guy that can get you to that point. I'm of the belief Zach LaVine could get you to that point as well, but I'm a one-man wolf pack with that.
Zach LaVine was scaring the hell out of me, bro, for like a month.
I don't think it's over.
He's a good.
Does he still scare you with Malik here?
Yeah, he just doesn't play enough anymore.
Hoops Hype reported
Kyle Kuzma
that
probably plays more.
Kyle Kuzma didn't play that much last year.
with 70 games,
He played 70 last year.
Uh-huh.
What about the year before? That was the year he was injured.
68.
And the year before that,
He went. Oh, I'm sorry. 70, 64, 66, 68 in 2021, 61 in the pandemic year. 70 before that.
Kyle,
77
I mean,
before
I
that.
think that's more than Zach LaVine. But yeah,
When
Brandon
Monk
Ingram
came
probably
back,
is one that's closer to Zach LaVine than people realize.
yeah,
his
he's had
games
some
played.
injury stuff for sure.
Yeah.
That to me is why, in a vacuum, Brandon Ingram I think is better than Kyle Kuzma.
Mm.
But when we were talking about this earlier, when you start putting assets in, what's it going to take to get them? How much are you going to have to pay that guy over the next 3 or 4 years?
Mm.
That's why Kuzma to me is just the best option.
Yeah, I mean, I think the new metric with games played is, can he be eligible for awards? Right? If he can get to 65.
Is he an awards guy or not?
That's right.
Not gonna win any, but he played 65.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's eligible.
Nowhere close.
Yeah, he's not gonna be there, but yeah.
So what happens if they don't get either of those guys?
I think they're still a playoff team, or any.
Right,
You
'cause
mean
you're-
just
right,
any of
you're-
those
you're
guys,
on-
or anybody
Right,
in general?
no, because you and I differ on this.
Mhm.
You think running it back, they're a playoff team.
Mhm.
They make no changes. You're like, they're making the playoffs.
Mhm.
I don't
think they
so.
have that ceiling.
I don't think so.
I think they're a play-in team who has an opportunity to get into the playoffs. Like I don't think
Yeah,
that,
I don't-
like I think playoff teams like they're top 6 team and all that. I think if they were to run this back with a new draft pick, I wouldn't say they're top 6 for sure.
Nah.
The draft
And
pick is interesting.
The thing that there's kind of an intangible element to this that makes me think that though, beyond just like the basketball, I think if they walked into that gym with the exact same team, I think the vibes would be so bad
Mm.
because I already think that was a problem this year.
Huh.
Is De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis are out there busting their ass and they're looking down the bench. It's like, these dudes again.
Mm.
Like, this is
It was a lot of like 4 guys doing it last year for them. I feel like
Yeah.
with the Kings, like if they were winning ball games, like because Monk, it was either Monk, Fox, Sabonis, or Keegan went off that day, but they weren't necessarily getting much from anyone else.
It felt like we did a lot of complaining about the same guys.
Two things. And when are we out of here? I don't want to get in trouble.
56.
You know, it's always bad when I'm in here, is what they say. But
No, it's not true. Hey, let the record show that Damian has been the one the last couple times going over the time. We got 2 minutes.
so two things. The draft pick, that's something that I even overlook, right? Like as a run it back type thing. Like you're either gonna run it back with a draft pick or you're making a trade and getting people. So if you run it back, you're adding a draft pick. And what if, I'm just throwing it out there, what if the draft pick has the season that Keegan Murray had his rookie year? They're
That'd be
still not a
nuts.
playoff team?
That'd be crazy. No, if you're adding Keegan Murray, then yeah, sure.
That's what I'm like. You got to kind of factor that in though, like because they're running it back with the draft pick, and they're adding. There's a possibility they're adding a guy that could average 12 points a night.
I see that, but it's also like Keegan was the 4th pick. So we were like expecting. I don't think you can expect much from the rookie going into it.
And it's not because basically what we're doing is we're talking about like vibes and hypotheticals and how we'd feel going into the year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be optimistic and be like, yeah, hey, the 13th pick in this draft that everybody talked about how terrible it was is just going to be Keegan Murray, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like
Well, what if
1,000%.
he's Kobe?
Yeah, right. But
Kobe was 13.
but what if he's Yorgos Papagiannis?
Oh
That
no!
wasn't
Like,
very
no-
nice.
Well, no, but that come on. But that's kind of, I mean, a draft pick could go either which way.
Mhm. True, very
And
true.
that's
very true.
and so that's and again, this is all I don't know whether that player is going to be a Hall of Famer or a bench guy or out of the league in 2 years. It's just TBD.
Yeah. The other
But-
thing, real quick, and we're gonna discuss this on the show a little bit because I had a thought about it. I just feel, I believe, I think, I don't know. Malik Monk was told something.
Like as far as the money you can get, like what do you mean?
Yeah.
He was
I kind
told
of
something.
no.
He
that-
didn't
about
just
the roster build.
He didn't
happening.
just sign up for the same role with the same roster
I agree.
for
I
less
agree with
money.
you.
And I don't know what that is, and I'm just kind of hypothesizing, but we'll talk about it.
I can't wait to hear you guys talk about that on D'Lo and Casey. That's coming up next. That's Jesse Tapia. I'm Kyle Madsen. We've been the Insiders. We're sponsored by Jiffy Lube. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, drink water and be nice to people. Bye.